We're here today with Eike Batista, and we're Film at Wonder. Eike is a successful businessman, entrepreneur, Brazilian. Eike, thank you very much for having us, and would you please tell us a little bit about you and your early beginnings?
Okay, thank you. I was born in Brazil, in the state of Minas Gerais, and when I was 12, I had to move with my father, who was appointed to be president of a Brazilian company in Europe. So I ended up spending as of my 12th birthday, I spent another 11 years in Europe, going to gymnasium in Germany, in Belgium, and then back to university in Aachen in Germany. So that was basically my upbringing.
Fantastic. And in Aachen, did you know that you wanted to come back to Brazil and start businesses, or did you think about staying in Europe? How did it all begin for you?
Yeah, well, when I was 18, still in Europe, my parents moved back to Brazil, and I had basically to survive with half of my monthly allowance. So it wasn't easy, and a way to compensate that, I started to basically, I was looking for a way to make money to compensate, and so I started to sell insurance, for door to door.
Yes.
And as I used to say, some doors open, some don't, but you get trained in talking and realizing that some doors do open, some close, and it was an incredible learning process. It's probably a mixture of family bullying, because I was left alone.
Yes.
But for me it was excellent, because it taught me to be independent, and I was basically driven because I had a need.
Yes.
I had to pay my bills. I wanted to, do what my other friends were doing, so you had to make some extra money.
Of course. And did that passion and that motivation drive you to come back to Brazil and start your business, or was it?
No, that actually, while I was studying, I had a relationship here with my old Brazilian friends, because normally I used to come back to Brazil on holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And so I initially started to trade diamonds. And then, diamond trade, I also managed to sell some corned beef to Africa, because, while I was in Belgium had many colonies in, at least Congo, as a colony in Africa. So the connections were always through Europe. If you want to sell things to Africa, you had to go through Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some trades in that, but essentially it was the diamond trade that then that brought me into the gold trading.
Yes.
Business, where when I came back to Brazil, it was basically my start in the mining and so trading initially, and then mining business.
And it was it TVX, the first TVX, right? TVX, or what?
Yeah, no. Initially, I traded like $60 million worth of gold, and I was left with $6 million, which was a lot of money for me back then. I was 23 years old, and I decided to buy one of these pick and shovel mining sites in the Amazon, and basically used existing methods to extract alluvial tin. I adopted an alluvial tin machines to work on an alluvial gold deposit, and that was an incredible experience that I only survived because it was extremely rich.
Yeah.
It was the fact that it was a rich asset that I identified among many assets, gold producing garimpos,
Yes.
mining sites in Brazil, in the Amazon, that I found one. I actually bought into one of the richest one, and so my crazy machine started working, and so I survived an incredible experience because logistics, diseases, infrastructure in general,
Yes.
very complex. In the middle of the Amazon,
How was that? Was it scary? Did you go as well in the middle of?
Oh yes,
Yes?
I was constantly there. Yes,
Wow.
also during the trading
Yes.
years, I had to go there. I had 60 gold buyers that went out to 200 mining sites to buy gold. So $60 million worth of gold is a lot of gold.
Yes.
That was carried basically in sacks.
Yeah.
And but so yes, I was exposed to the Amazon. Obviously being young, you
Yeah.
don't consider the risk at all.
Yes.
You are very young too. So
Yes.
you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
We
definitely.
think we are Superman,
Yes.
and we are not.
Yes.
But in those days, 23, 24 years old, you really don't care. You want to make something happen and make money. That was the objective. So basically, I moved from a trader into a mining operation very fast because of basically my technical background. I
Yes.
like machines, and so that's why you need to like engineering to basically handle something like that.
Fantastic. And it also started what was for you a very long relationship with the mining industry in itself. Almost more than 20 years, wasn't it? In different.
Exactly. Well, I would say that up till three years ago, I was heavily into mining because I put 8-9 gold mines into production, 3 iron ore mines. So mining became part of my life, and that's where I was invited to exchange my Brazilian assets for assets in a Canadian mining company,
Yes.
TVX Gold.
Mhm.
Initially was called Treasure Valley Exploration,
Right.
that then moved into TVX, and then because of the asset exchange, I became the largest shareholder. This was in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I was exposed to the stock markets very, very early. I mean, Jesus, 81.
Wow.
It's almost 30.
30 and a bit years ago.
Yes, long time ago.
Yeah.
And I put then another three mines into production Brazil. Then I moved to Chile. Then we built some mines in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So we had mines a little bit all over, and exploration in many countries. Probably all of the South American countries we had exploration. With exploration in Canada, yes. In Europe, we were in Greece, we were in the Czech Republic, and we were in Kamchatka.
Yes.
The most eastern part of Russia.
Fantastic.
Well, it's quite amazing, yes.
And out of all of the projects that you've done in your life, you've done a lot for the city of Rio. So trying to help clean up the lagoon and social projects. You brought the offshore racing a few years ago. Which is the one that you're most passionate about?
The most passionate is the hospital, the children's heart surgery hospital. That actually has the name of my mother, and that's the best because you helping small children. It's a gift. It's a gift actually to have the opportunity to help, to invest in something like this.
Yes.
The lady that runs this is an angel. I mean, she's incredible. So, and the others were just give backs to the city.
Yes.
Because I believe if you know how to make money, part of my upbringing, maybe that's the German side of my mother, that we Germans, the Germans, they think a lot about community. It's not only about yourself. You live. It's a little bit. You have a responsibility to make sure that everybody is involved.
Yes.
So that we lack that in Brazil.
Yes.
In Brazil, people go to the beach and leave things dirty, not understanding that the beach belongs to them too. So that mentality, that education, I think I got from my mother, which I'm proud of. So I like the community thinking and we apply this in our projects.
Yes.
In social things.
Yes.
We always believed in the regional integration into projects. If you spend $100 million or $1 billion in projects, you have to make sure that the surrounding communities, they participate in the wealth creation, in everything. So it's a sharing process.
Yes.
That otherwise things collapse.
Yes.
This harmony is absolutely vital for success, in my belief.
Of course, and with all of the models that you've established successfully, what advice would you give to a young businessman today?
Okay, well, listen, have a dream, never abandon your dream, and the most important elements behind it, be persevere, be not stubborn, because sometimes you have to stop and restart, but have always a dream, obviously based on knowledge. Be extremely hungry for knowledge, information. I believe we live in an information age where you are bombarded with information. It's too much information.
Yes.
Make sure which area you want to know, but also never forget to be holistic, because you depend today, in today's world, you have to have your legal situation right, you have to have your environmental situation right, you have to have the right remuneration package for you and your people, and so you have to think they are more holistically, okay?
Yes.
Which don't be only monorail, single viewed,
Yes.
or I see that the millennium generation is getting, I don't know if it's the telephone that has become like there's a slave relationship to your phone.
Yes.
And you get there obviously what you want, and
Yes.
it's not necessarily what you want that will educate you in the right direction. So I think people have to look laterally also. The independence of being able to choose what you want to do whenever you want to do has risks.
Has serious consequences, yes. And with this holistic view in mind, and all of the projects that you've successfully established over the last 30 odd years, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Okay, well, listen, as you know, I created a lot of, we built 2 superports, we built 5% of Brazil's power generation industrial park with thermal power plants. So these are legacies for the countries, but I failed badly in my oil company because it was actually very big. Offshore oil is big. It started big, and so when you don't succeed to produce oil, which was something new for me, I think I underestimated the complexity. Having had so much success in mining, I simplistically extrapolated that producing oil offshore was relatively simple, because there were other examples of success, and why not replicate what has been done by Petrobras and so on. But it wasn't the case. We were not awarded pre-salt oil blocks, where the real wealth of Brazil is.
Yes.
It is in the pre-salt, and that will, people will see very soon that the pre-salt will help Brazil come back, especially Petrobras. This is my view from all the information I have. But I was unfortunate not to have blocks in the pre-salt area, and the oil company really created a bank run situation in all my public companies. And so in the last 3 years, I basically spent time paying back $25 billion worth of debt. And I did it in a transparent way, because I believe that if you're clear and you show exactly to all your investors and creditors that you're closing down things and you're paying back obligations, that you always have a chance to come back.
Yes.
So the learning process was brutal, because I created $35 billion worth of wealth for myself, and that has collapsed. Probably I think I'm one of the most unique businessmen in the world that has lived through this.
Yes.
But 3 years ago, when that happened, because once you have a bank run on a complex legal structures of five publicly listed companies,
Yes.
you get as I said, a bank run that's very difficult to stop. And so I decided to clean up everything, to basically have the possibility to restart, fulfilling all my obligations of the past. And that's exactly what I've done. Now, of course, with all the wealth that I have created, I have learned a lot, building projects from zero,
Of course.
which is basically my expertise. I build my things from zero, and I have. I'm looking at the new group of investments with new investors, because I don't have the resources anymore.
Yes.
So I'm looking for investors that will fund my new ideas and my new concepts the same way I did in the past. So not many people have that amount of knowledge, or to grow something and
Yes.
go down, at the same time, which at the end become an incredible process of learning. I mean, there's big lessons to be learned in a dramatic process like that. But thanks God I'm here, and
Yes.
I survived, and I'm coming back with new ventures. I believe that the world will have a dramatic change in the nanotechnology world, in the nanomaterial world.
Yes.
Which I would advise young entrepreneurs to really look at it carefully, because and the interesting thing is, nano is starting. It's relatively new, because only now, with very powerful electronic microscopes and equipment, laser technology, you can really understand and look at the nano world.
Yes.
So you couldn't do it before. So it's like it has to come now, but it is what will change the world. Materials will change the health health sectors, will change the way we build things. With 3D machines. Nano is nanomaterials will dramatically improve the performance of 3D machines, where we'll be able to produce anything you dream of,
Yes.
probably in your house.
So there's a huge variety involved with nanotechnology as well, which is potential.
The applications in the nanotechnology, it's as wide as apps today in the internet
Yes.
world.
Fantastic. And one last question that we always ask: how would you define happiness?
Laugh. Happiness. Well,
Yes.
I for me, happiness has become if you have beat your family or people that are around you, if you can dedicate time or your efforts in helping improve their lives to see them happy, that makes me happy. So I think I believe in a universal law of if you give, you probably get it a couple of thousand times back.
Yes.
So this positive thinking and thinking always the good. There's too much bad around. So
Yes.
if you're good, you get good things back.
Fantastic. We wish you the very best of luck with your new business ideas, and we hope to see you in the future in another interview at some stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Valeu.
Valeu. Muito obrigado.